Hi, Logan Bunny. What are we doing, buddy? Hi, everybody, YouTubers. Let's head in and see Rue. Hi, Rue. Want you to jump up and run over here to see me? Same for you, Crow. Come here. Come here, bud. All right, well, I'm sure everybody wants to know what's going on with Ben, as well as other news, so I guess I kind of have a lot to talk about today. I think if you've been following the news on our Twitter and maybe even on the chat, you know that Ben, we went to go visit Ben today, and we talked to his vet quite a lot. The vet basically said that they weren't seeing any major improvement yet. That's not entirely unusual. It's not unheard of for a case like this to take, 4 or 5 days to start to clear up. So it's possible that if they just kept doing exactly what they were doing, Ben, could have gotten all better. But it's also true that they were doing everything that they could do, but there were some additional things that a vet that had what they call a critical list could do. They don't have a critical list or that level of critical care at the emergency vet that we usually use for On Angel's Wings. So I didn't know about that. I've never heard of a critical list before. It was entirely news to me. So when they suggested that maybe we would want a vet that had a critical list, we called our regular emergency vet that we use for Acro and Smokey when they've had problems, and found out that they do have a critical list and can do the critical care. And so we arranged to move Ben there today, which is what we spent all afternoon doing, was moving Ben. So just to be perfectly clear, I want everybody to know there was nothing wrong with the vet that Ben was at. We just learned that we might be able to do even more for him if we took him to a different one. So that's exactly what we did. On that point, I want to thank all of you again for your contributions. There's been a lot of talk in the chat today about donating and stuff and trying to help cover the costs. I want to be clear. You guys, our Patreon supporters and the people that donate through our website, we have not had major vet expenses in the last month or two, just the regular small ones. So that money has been saved up, and we've got enough money as far as I know, unless it really ends up costing a ton. We definitely have enough from our contributors already to cover Ben's expenses. They are adding up pretty quick, but you guys have just been so generous already that I don't think that we need to worry about it. I mean, we don't even have to, I've said it before, we're amazingly privileged because all of you have been so generous in the past that we don't have to ask questions like, how much is it going to cost, and can we really afford this, and what do we do, when do we cut him off? It's just not something we're going to do. We're going to do whatever we can, and thanks to you, we can say we're going to do it regardless of what the cost is, because we can definitely manage to cover it, and that's because of the generosity that you guys have already shown. So thank you for that. And just to make the point then that a lot of folks are talking about if we need extra help, everybody stepped up, and it's great. You all of you are wonderful people. It's great that you all want to help, and that you're letting us know that you're there for us. If we need anything extra, you've got it. You'll help us, and we love that. You're wonderful people, and we really appreciate that outpouring of concern and support, and just the willingness that all of you have to help. But the fact is that you've already done it, and we really don't need you to do anything extra at this point. We're set, and that's thanks to you. So. I just want to be clear about that. You're wonderful folks, and you've already been wonderful, and we're pretty well privileged and set up for being able to just do what's best without concern or regard to anything else. What are you eating? Get that out of your mouth. That's not for you to eat. Anyway, so honestly, just thank you guys so much for everything you've done already. On that note, I noticed that somebody has started a campaign on our Twitter, which is hashtag Boops for Ben, and it's adorable. It's a bunch of people that are just showing their support by taking pictures of them booping their cat on the nose and hashtagging Boops for Ben. It's adorable, and it's really cute and creative. And I think it's sweet. So thanks for that. I'm touched, and so is your cat. So anyway, the new vet. We spent some time talking to the new vet today, and they basically sound like they're going to switch up the antibiotics that he's on, and they feel a little more confident about getting him well fed and trying a couple new things, but not really switching things up a ton. Just doing a couple things that the first vet would have had some issues getting done, I think. So as of right now, Ben still is not showing any major improvement yet. Obviously, we just got him there, but we're hopeful. We're trying to remain hopeful. The vet themselves are, they need to set the expectations a little more carefully. So they're not, giving us any wild promises or anything, but we're all very hopeful. All right. So I think that's legitimately all of the news about Ben. I'm sure if there's anything that I forgot to mention that people want to know, they'll let me know on the chat, or you can tweet at us, and I'll get caught up on that at some point. I am sticking to what I said about not posting any pictures of our visit today. But let me say this: Ben actually looked really good to me today. I had this image in my head of what he would look like when we went to visit, and I thought it wouldn't be so great. And he actually looks fairly good still. He's still got a lot of his weight on, and he's very present and alert. And he meowed at me because he recognized my voice when we came in. So I felt really good about him. It made me feel like he really he made me feel like he's doing pretty well overall, and I hope that's true. But all the pictures of him are, just nobody wants to see their kitten in a hospital setting. It's not what the press would call good optics. So I don't want to depress anybody. It inevitably would make you sadder than you should be. So I hope you can just take my word for it when I say that he does look really good. And would prefer to avoid the sads by not actually posting any photos of it, though. Now, there is one other thing that I've got to talk about today, because it's going to come up tomorrow, and it's kind of a big deal. But let me lead into it by explaining something else first. So I hope I'm not going too far out of my way to talk about this. But, ordinarily, we would not have two classes in at the same time especially not ones that were the same age like this. Ordinarily, what we try to do is just have one class in right up until they're about to graduate, and then we start looking for a new pregnant mom cat. That way, we're not overloaded, and everybody gets lots of care, and I think that's good for us, and that's what we aim to do. Just have one class at a time, except for at the end when we have just a little bit of overlap, right? But I think what you know is that this time we had Rue's class in, and then these guys came and were supposed to have a different foster, and that foster couldn't deal with their situation and sent them back to On Angel's Wings after just a couple days. So it was kind of an emergency situation. We went into On Angel's Wings. They had these kittens there, and I said, well, all right, it's kind of straining things a little bit, but we can take them. And, it's not what we normally do, but we've got 2 rooms, and this room was just about done getting remodeled. Said we could put these guys in the bathroom for a couple days, and then we'll move them to the main room, and they've got the space for everybody, and we can make it work. So my point there is that normally we wouldn't have the 2 separate families going on at the same time. So then something else happened, which is last week, or I guess maybe it was really early this week, we got word from On Angel's Wings about 3 kittens that are the same age as these guys that needed a foster. And this was before Ben got sick. And I said, well, we're already running 2 rooms, so if we can take those 3 kittens and put them with one of the groups that we have, like Rue's kittens, then we can take those 3 kittens. We'll make it work. We've already got a lot of kittens. What's 3 more, right? Somebody's got to take them. They need somebody to step up. And I said, well, all right, 3 more kittens. Let's do it. We can make it work this one time. 3 extra kittens. It's a lot, but it's not the most we've ever had. With the 3 extra kittens, we would have been 1 short of the most that we've ever had at one time. So I'm like, we can do it. Well, first off, Ben got sick, and that kind of complicated things a little bit. But those 3 kittens are already on their way to On Angel's Wings when Ben got sick. So it was a little bit late to stop that train. And we also got word that at the last minute, the people that had found those 3 kittens and brought them to the shelter found that there were actually 2 more in the same family and brought those to the shelter. So those 3 kittens suddenly became 5 kittens. Yeah. And all 5 of those kittens turned up at On Angel's Wings today, and they're waiting for us to pick them up. In fact, we were planning on going to visit Ben, and because we were committed, picking up those 3, now 5 kittens and bringing them back after we went to go visit Ben. But since we had to do the transfer with Ben, all that changed. We ran out of time today to do it. So they're going to spend the night at On Angel's Wings. The 5 new kittens are. They're being cared for by V, who gave them all baths and says that they're very cute. They'll spend the night at On Angel's Wings tonight, and then tomorrow after the mailbag, we're going to go pick them up and bring in 5 more kittens. I know it's a lot. You don't have to tell me that that's a lot. I'm sure that at this point we've set our record, and that will be the most that we probably ever do at one point until the distant future when Kitten Academy moves out of our house and into a bigger location and we have employees and all that stuff. Then yeah, we can handle more. That's a goal. It's something we would like to do. But we're sure, I think, pushing our limits for what we can do now. The good news is I think everybody's going to graduate in just a couple weeks, so we just got to make it happen for a couple weeks and we'll be okay. It's fun. It'll be fun times. It'll be exciting. Be very busy. So my point being that tomorrow, sometime after the mailbag, you should expect me to come back here with 5 new kittens. And we're still trying to work out exactly how we want to manage the 5 new kittens. Now, my preference is to take the 5 new kittens and bring them in with Rue and let them stay with Rue, and that evens out the groups a little bit, right? I think it would be good. I also think, frankly, I think Rue's got a little bit more to give than her 2 kittens are demanding of her. You've seen that she's been kind of restless and running around, and I think she wants more of a challenge. So if she gets along with the 5 new kittens, that could be more challenge than she even had hoped for. So my preference is to give her that chance first. But then if it doesn't work out, then we would bring the 5 in here. And we may not do either of those things immediately tomorrow. We may put them up in, say, our master bathroom or something as a little quarantine period until we've checked them out and feel like we know what's up with them. But On Angel's Wings is already vetting them, and as always, we do snap test on all the kittens before they come in to make sure that they don't have anything that's really bad and contagious, you know. So we'll see. We'll figure out exactly how to get them integrated after they're here. But one way or another, they're gonna end up here. We're gonna have 5 more kittens tomorrow. So they're really cute, by the way. I've only seen the first 3 of them when we thought that there were only 3. I haven't seen what the 2 new ones look like. But the first 3 are almost twins. They're almost all white, but they're technically calico because they have some markings. And the markings that they have, they're those markings where they're like white face with a big eyebrow kind of markings. So you'll think they're really cute. Garbanzo's being a little snuggle bunny. I like that. Pinter here doesn't care. Who's that next to Pinter? That's Corey? All right. Little Pinter and Corey. So anyway, I had an awful lot of talking to do for you guys today. For anybody that's coming in late, let me just summarize, and then you can go back and rewind and watch the whole thing if you care for all the details. The summary is, today we moved Ben to a different vet. There was nothing wrong with the old vet, just the new vet has some other options that they can do on top of what the old vet could do. So we moved him over there, and we're hoping for the best. There's no reason to think that he won't recover just fine. Then on top of that, we've got what turns out to be 5 extra kittens coming into the Kitten Academy tomorrow. And that'll be exciting. We'll figure out exactly how we're going to manage that after they turn out. And I guess that's really it for news. Don't forget though, tomorrow is the mailbag. We're still going to do it. We'll do it right in here with these kittens. We'll do it at 10 o'clock, Kitten Academy time zone, just like we always do. So join us for that if you like. And if you don't like, you can definitely tune in anytime to the regular Kitten Academy live stream. Or if you just like to hear me talk to you up close and personal like this, then tomorrow night we'll do another close-up stream just like this. And I think by then we'll have some more news of Ben. I told the vet that if she didn't call us every 12 hours, we'd be calling her every 12 hours to make sure we get those updates. So Chili has a lot to say to you guys too, by the way. I'm going to put her on next, and she's going to run the next 20 minutes. Chili and Garbanzo, look how cute they are. Chili, do you want 5 more kittens? That sounded kind of like a no. Well, I offered. Okay. Anyway, thank you guys all for joining and watching tonight. Please join us again tomorrow, or just tune in on the regular Kitten Academy live stream. And just let me say again, thanks so much to all of the past support that you've given us that allows us to just do the right thing for Ben all day long. It's wonderful to know that we've got that And we've got you guys all looking out for us. And all the support and the love and the offers of extra help that have come in for Ben. I mean, that's it's really sweet, and we love and appreciate all of you for it. But you know, we've already been covered by you. So by all means, you know, if you feel like there's something you want to do, that's great, and you should do it. But don't feel like Ben is, you know, is hurting for your lack of support, because you guys have no lack of support. It's already, he's already supported, fully supported by you, and we just greatly appreciate it. We're very privileged to be in this circumstance of, you know, having that money in reserve for things like when Ben has some trouble. So. We're probably pretty much alone in the universe as far as, you know, fosters and shelters go, being able to say that, and it's all your fault. One more thing I want to show you before we sign off. Check out this shirt. Hang on. How do I switch the camera? There it is. Check out my shirt I'm wearing today. That's right, Agent Star. What do you think of that? Pretty cool, huh? That's one of the t-shirts from the Kitten Academy fans. If you check our Twitter, you will find it, or if you check their Twitter, you'll find it. I think it's great. That's some of you, most of you maybe remember Star when she was wearing that tactical vest, and they made a t-shirt out of it that I think is really, really cool. All right, well, thanks again. You know, I'd talk to you all night if I could, but I've got other things to do, so lots of kittens to take care of. Thanks, everybody.